Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. We are very proud to be part of the Variety Sports Network, and the show originates from the Frank Walker Law Studio. Welcome in, Ben. Welcome in, Scarpino. Who the hell knows where Ian is, but you can bet it has something to do with a child.
Children.
I feel very safe in betting that.
The high life tonight.
Ben is drinking
Going
a
old
high
school.
life tonight.
The champagne of beers. Hell
The
yeah.
champagna of beers.
Boy, I tell you what, doesn't get much better than the champagne of beers. The new King of the Hills are fucking really good, by the way. If anybody
Yes, they are.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before we get into all the Steelers stuff, let me just say, so as some of you know, I am an educator in my other life.
There he is.
And we've had a tradition for many, many, many years. A small group of us at lunch, we gather in my classroom and we watch a full series of a show. We've done Cheers, we've done Seinfeld, we've done I mean, you name it, we've done it. We are right now, when we get back to school in a few weeks, we will be on season 10 of King of the Hill. So I'm kind of waiting to get into the new one until we finish this one. But I did hear that they found a way to bring like Johnny Hardwick back from the dead to do Dale, which I'm very impressed by and very glad. But anyway, I'll stop right at that, and we'll get back into this.
When are you watching South Park?
Well, to be honest with you, Ben, that's also a funny story. I've been teaching so long that I used to have a student record South Park on his VCR and bring it in for me so I could watch it at lunch, because I didn't have cable at the time. I couldn't watch it. That's how long I've been teaching, and that's how long South Park's been on.
Your VCR.
But
wow.
Yeah, who knows? That would take us forever. Holy shit. Ian, welcome in. What are you drinking this evening?
Well, my keg kicked last week, so I had to go get another one, which led me to getting an Oktoberfest. So I think it's Great Lakes Oktoberfest. It's quite good.
Wow, a little early on the fall beverage.
Yeah.
You know, it was there, so
Okay.
I got it.
All right. And it looks like you almost sounded upset about having to go out and get another keg of beer.
I'm always sad when the keg kicks itself.
Okay.
So,
all right. I get that. Ben, you have a High Life. Anything else in your beverage?
Oh, yeah. I've got some Basil Hayden. So, you know.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Slumming it or anything, but.
Scarps, what do you got in the red Solo?
You know what? In honor of Ben, I got some Arizona hard iced teas right here.
Oh, hard iced teas.
They're like Mike's, but better.
I am finishing off my old Overholt, which came recommended from
that is good stuff.
Ian. It's I tell you what, for a $20 bottle of rye whiskey, it is excellent stuff.
There are a lot of good ryes that are pretty reasonable. Rittenhouse is a really nice one. Usually $20, $25. The label is just not very impressive, but when you just drink it with a little bit of ice, oh my God.
Yeah,
that is
sometimes those are the
whiskey.
best ones. The plain ones that, nobody sees coming. Everybody wants the fancy label. Helpy Gilmore 2 did not suck.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Look,
it was okay.
If you went into that movie expecting like an Academy Award winning program, then you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I just expected it to be funnier than it was, I guess.
I grant you, it's not the first one by any stretch.
No,
but I love
and they recycled a lot of the humor. And,
yes.
You know,
I thought Scotty Ben
Stiller
was
sucked.
funny as hell. Yeah, Stiller's
Ben Stiller's character sucked donkey balls.
Yeah, I thought it was a sequel that you want in terms of a little nostalgia and some of that type of stuff. Again, I don't need to watch it again, but I'm glad I did, and So yeah, anyway. All right. There's plenty of people here. Welcome in everyone. Too many to name. I'm not even going to try it. Oh, Aaron's here. I'm surprised he's not waving his new Ohio State towel.
Terrible towel ripoff because
really. And they call it the towel.
Yeah, whatever.
Apparently. That's what they're calling it.
Ripoff.
All right. So tonight I was planning to pretty much just strictly talk about, the who's up, who's down at camp, injuries, looking ahead to this game in Jacksonville where most of our starters will be on the side and shorts and tees. But then a little nugget broke about Cam Heyward wanting some more cash. And not long after, it was revealed that so too does Chris Boswell. All right. Now, we can get pretty excited on this program at times. We can get upset. We can get maybe overly excited. I don't know. Hi, Jen. Good to see you here tonight, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
And I think I had to take a step back a little bit and for a couple of reasons. And Ben, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Oh,
what is it that you believe, and I know you haven't really had a chance to talk to your people, but what is it you believe that Cam Heyward at age 36 is looking for here?
Well, let's frame the conversation first by saying that Cam is the 22nd highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL right now, and that's based upon average annual value. You got Chris Jones at $36 million a year at the very tippy top.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam is down at 22 at 14.5. And he's like, I played well. The market is here. I'm paid here. I want a raise. So I think the scuttlebutt is, I don't think anything because I haven't talked to anybody, so I don't really have an opinion. The scuttlebutt is that he wants them to move money up from next year to this year. So my guess is he basically is thinking this is my last year anyway. I don't need to worry about my money next year. And if next year is still a thing, next year we'll do an extension. We'll worry about that then. Next year is next year. Let's worry about this year now. So, I think if you get him to the $20 million range, he's going to be fine. It's going to be what's going to be. I don't think he'll hold out. I think if they just say, no, sorry, Cam, we made a deal, a deal's a deal. That's it. I think he'll play. He won't be happy about it. It'll be begrudgingly, but I think he'll do it. That's my take. The guy has a gripe. He has a legitimate case here. He does. And he's not holding out of camp. He's there, but he is also under contract. So
right. I did not know when all this broke that he was that far down the list, and that's where that's where I kind of caught myself. Now, I'm not saying he should be at the top. He's not Chris Jones.
No.
Okay, he's not. But he should be higher than 22nd.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Scarps, I know you maybe you've had time to reflect over the last few hours. I don't know. Part of the thing we do is we kind of go silent a couple hours before the show as much as we can so that we don't start giving all our good takes before the show starts. But there is one thing I do agree heavily about this with you, and I'll get to that if you don't. So what are your thoughts?
Hater.
No, I'm not a hater. I have many thoughts. But like,
I'm just being a dick. Sorry.
No, I know you are a dick, but I still love you. I'm not gonna hate a player for asking for a raise,
right?
But I have a problem with how fans do this because fans think that how we ask for a raise is the same how players ask for a raise, which is not apples to apples. No. Because if I ask my boss for a raise and he laughs at me and says, get back to work, I got to go back to work. I can't just go piss around on field 3 at St. Vincent College because I don't, because I feel like I'm not getting compensated enough. So there's that element of it.
Yeah.
But then there's the element of hey, Cam, you just signed an extension last year that had no new money on it. They just extended the years. You signed it. Nobody held a gun to your head. You signed it. And you know that the cap goes up every year. And so like, why did you sign it if you didn't, why did you sign it at the time? Why didn't you just ask for more money up front or whatever? But then they could easily convert, at least I think, or maybe I don't know, but they could easily convert money from next year, that roster bonus, into cash this year. So it doesn't impact the cap. But part of me thinks that's not going to be enough. I think he's actually looking for, because you already got 13. And that's the other thing too. He is the third all-time earner in Steelers history.
Right.
Ben, TJ, Cam. Through last year, he's earned $130 million, and he's projected this year through 2025 to earn $145 million. You know where that ranks all time in NFL earnings? 48th. Cameron Heyward is right now, at the end of this year, is going to be a top 50 paid player all time in NFL history. So you know what? The bottom line is they have the right to ask for a raise, but I'm not going to lose sleep over millionaires not getting more millions. And if the deal wasn't fair last year, then why sign it? And I mean this, for a guy that's going to throw shots at Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers wasn't even on the team. Oh, you either want to be a Steeler or not. Well, dude, that's 2 straight years of you bitching about your contract in training camp. And I love Cam, and I mean this, Cam. If you're watching, and I know you are, because you're not practicing. Wow. And Cam, and I mean this, I love Cam. He's one of my favorite players I ever worked with, and he's literally like that last connection between me and the team that I work for, that I grew up loving and still love. But dude, I can't not look at your whole body of work and be like, you're a little bit hypocritical, or you're contradicting yourself based on everything that I thought you stood for and how you've handled yourself over these past couple years with your media, the way you're in your media and you have your own brand now, and the way you're going about this contract situation.
The one item that you mentioned earlier is something about, I kind of miss the days when these guys didn't do this in the public forum. This was your agent, the Steelers, and that's it. Fans didn't need to know. Sports writers didn't need to know. Now it's out there, and obviously there is a reason for that. There's a tact that's part of that. Ian, my first question to you is,
quick point. I just want to make a quick point. There's a precedent with Antonio Brown. In fact, they moved money up into AB's. They moved money from the next year into AB's contract. Twice. So the precedent's already there with the Steelers, when a player is overperforming his contract, that the Steelers take care of him by moving money up. And that being the case, what he's asking for isn't really out of line. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And I don't think that Cam's gone to the media and said, "Hey, I want a raise." It got out.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I don't mean to accuse him of going to the media, but I just, to what Scarps tweeted, I think earlier today, I do miss that part of it, but it is what it is. Ian, my question to you, first of all, is if, as Adam Schefter reported today, that Cam really hasn't practiced with the team, how did it go this long without anybody noticing?
Yeah, that seemed really weird to me. I did not get that, because it was kind of one of those like, well, he has been there but hasn't been like fully practicing, and that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. One other thing that I'll just mention, because are talking salary cap and all that other stuff too, is that there's some, I guess for lack of a better term, I'll call it misinformation out there about the cap hit. My understanding is they've already paid him out his roster bonus that was due back in March. That was whatever it was, $13.4 million, basically. Yeah. So given that they've already paid that out, the only thing they're still quote unquote on the hook for this year is his base salary, which is the veteran minimum of $1.3 million, which is his weekly game check. So unless there was some other arrangement with that first $13.4 million that they paid out in March, if there was some arrangement like we're going to pay it to you in weekly installments or something else, I don't know. But if they just paid him a straight check back in March, I don't think they can go back and amortize that over the cap. Like
they can.
There's people who've been looking at overthecap.com, which is a very good resource, but at the same time, when you look at those sites, you have to take into account they're assuming they can take that roster bonus still and make it into a signing bonus and spread it out over 2 years, but they can't do that. So any money they add to it is going to add to the cap hit this year. Because that 13.4 is already
you have to do a restructure like you're talking about right now before the due date.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, so any money they would add is extra cap. Now, this is something that we talked about back in the off season, and I know Ryan has a point, so I'll make this quick.
No, it's what. No, you're good, Ian.
That one of the dangers of the way the Steelers do business, of waiting till the final year of the contract, is that potentially they have to wait until other guys get paid. And the Eagles have done a really good job of this, of extending guys with 2 years left on their contract to try and get ahead of the market. Now, Cam agreed to his deal last year. It was no new money, basically converted what was left to signing bonus, all that. We've been through that all. But I think your point, Mark, about that he sees this as his last year and just wants some extra cash in his pocket because there's no guaranteed money in the deal next year is a very good one.
Chris Boswell, then later on today, it was revealed that he would like some new money. Now, he is not 22nd highest paid in his position. He's 6th, but he is coming off of an all-pro season. So, Ian, I'll stay with you on this one. Where do you fall on Chris Boswell asking for some more dough?
Considering he was our best offensive player the last few years.
Scorer.
Yeah, he definitely deserves it. I mean, you cannot argue Chris Boswell's value to this team, right? You can't. He's the one player that's been consistent over the last 5-6 years, basically.
Wait.
What? I will not wait. I will keep going.
You're fine.
Here's the guy talking to himself. Basically,
he's 11th. He's 11th highest paid.
Boswell? Yeah.
Why did we think 6th?
That was something I read today.
Somebody else? I read that too.
Don't get me wrong. There's not a very wide spread. I think like Boz is at $5 million, and Harrison Butker, whatever you think of him, is at 6.4, right?
Oh,
yeah.
It's
It's $1.4 million. So if you gave him 1.5, which given his value, as Ian has just pointed out, it's not a lot of money when you think about what he did for the team last season. I mean, shit, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Great point by Burner in the chat here that the cost of a kicker is exponentially cheaper than a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'd be fine with that because kickers, the other thing that we have taken into account, right? Cam Heyward's 36 years old. Chris Boswell, and just the nature of a position of kicker, other than the one time they decided to roll him out and have him throw a pass and get lit the fuck up in Cleveland, which was the dumbest friggin' play.
R.I.P. Boz.
Right. But other than that, like the position of kicker is not one that's prone to a lot of injuries.
Right.
So there have been guys who have kicked well into their late 30s and early 40s, still at a very high level. And the other thing I think we need to talk about with Boz is not only does he convert his kicks at a high level, he bangs them through from 50 plus regularly.
Yeah.
And that is a rarity. I mean, I know it's become more of an occurrence in this day and age with the current kickers, but historically, like a 50 plus kick was, I mean, maybe 25-30% of the time you make that. Now he's making 57, 58 yarders. You get to midfield, you're in field goal range. So
man, I remember when Mark and I were children back in the 70s,
back in the fucking 30s.
40 yards was a big deal.
Oh my God.
Now 40 yards is a chip shot for these guys.
You're right.
I remember
one of the
I've talked about this before, but like my first visceral memory of a Steeler game is that that I think it was a playoff game or last regular season game against Houston. I think it was 89 when Gary Anderson hit that 50-yard field goal. And like I can still remember hearing the announcer being like, Gary Anderson hits it from 50 yards, right? Like that's an iconic call. And just thinking back on that, like, you know, like it was such a big deal to hit a 50-yard field goal. And now, you know, Boz is routinely making 57, 58 yarders in Heinz Field, which is not an easy place to kick.
I don't remember the guy who kicked for the Saints that hit the 63-yarder with the
Tom Dempsey.
Tom Dempsey. He did that in like the early 70s.
With half a
yes.
foot.
And it was with his club foot.
Yeah, it was a record for like
straight on.
years.
He was a straight on kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to think a straight on kicker actually won the league's MVP. Mark Mosley. Yeah, back in like what, 82, 83.
Did he beat Fouts that year?
Yes.
Which is what the fuck?
Yeah.
You want to talk about TJ Watt was wronged for defensive player of the year that year.
I know.
Right.
Dan
Fouts just put in Morse code, nothing I'm not used to. Okay? Fuck. I'm proud of myself for that one.
Dan Fouts' greatest societal contribution, though, were those ads he used to do with what's his name, the Raiders quarterback. God damn it, Snake.
Stabler. Yeah.
Those Miller Lite commercials they used to do together. Oh my God.
There will never be
so good.
And those of you old enough in the chat remember those. The Miller Lite commercials were the greatest. It was the only time you ever looked forward to commercials.
What was it? They were in a restaurant waiting for a table for Mr. Not as many passing yards as Dan Fouts. He looks at him and goes, "Oh, it's for you."
Oh man, do yourself a favor, YouTube those.
Oh my
babies,
God,
man.
they were so
John
good.
Madden busting through and oh my God, who have been
Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker was in. Must be in the front
Bubba
row.
Smith and Dick Butkus.
Bubba Smith.
Oh my God.
Oh, memory lane right there. Scarps, I don't know if there's anything you can add, but you know, Boswell, what are your thoughts on his
I mean, I have no problem with paying Boz, but also like
it's not a lot of money either.
No, but also like, and I mean this. Fans wanted him gone in 2018, and the moment he misses a couple of kicks, they're gonna fucking be like, because right now he's the best kicker in the NFL. But if he misses a couple kicks, they're like, oh, he fucking sucks. And like looking at last year, half the kickers in the league converted 85. Even more. 19 kickers last year converted 85% or more of field goals.
Wow.
So like. Nobody even knew who Chris Boswell was before he was signed here, and he was their fourth option. Sweezum got hurt. Garrett Hartley got hurt. They traded for Josh Scobie, who couldn't hit the fucking side of a barn. Nice guy, though. Great guy. Couldn't hit the side of a barn. And then Chris Boswell. So all these fans that are just glazing Boz and glazing. Yeah, glaze is the key word. Like, these people don't understand that, like they will turn on any of these players in a heartbeat. And again, pay Boz, fine with it. Not going to be a lot of money, but literally like Brandon Aubrey, Brandon Aubrey is probably, besides Boz, the best kicker in the NFL. Yeah, he plays at a dome, and I get that. But he didn't even play football. Played soccer. Like,
Right.
and that dude
He's a really
drills
good
him.
kicker.
He drills him for longer than Boswell's range.
Yeah.
So, like, don't act. And that Chase McLaughlin's another guy for Tampa Bay, hits 90-something% of his kicks. He's been with like 6 teams.
Yeah.
So, like, don't tell me that, like, and this is what I get back to. These players, fans. Oh, TJ could never play anywhere else. Cam, Captain Cam, pay the man. I'm so tired. All right. I'm so tired of these fans. I'm just saying.
I was letting you go.
No, I stopped.
Okay, quick
I got no
side
respect.
question here. Ian,
Yeah.
how would you make place kicking in the NFL more difficult?
12-man rush.
Scarp's just laid it out. These guys are nailing everything. You know, I mean, how do you realistically, how would you make it tougher?
I mean, you could bring back the leverage that the defense used to be allowed to have, where you could, kind of push up a guy on the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they took that out, and I don't know how many kicks they actually blocked that way, but also I don't know how many injuries there were that way. So that seemed like a weird one to.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can't push forward a defensive player to help block a kick, but if it's a quarterback sneaking for a first down, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Never fails.
That aside, how would you make it harder?
Yeah. Is there something you just off the top of your head?
I think the biggest thing you could do would be to make them kick with a regular game ball instead of their special kicking balls. That those guys take those balls and kick them so much that they're more soccer ball shaped than football shaped. Like they're much less pointy than a normal football. So
Yeah, the aerodynamics are different.
yeah, you make them kick with a regular ball. I don't think it would change a whole lot,
Right.
but it might change a little bit. But
Okay.
also, I think kicking is one of those last things that's kind of caught up to everything else, right? Like NFL players, even look back at like the Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward times when they were talking about like, oh yeah, we'd go over to, Hines's basement and lift weights, or go to Jerome's house and run on his tread. Like they didn't have all those, like fancy training regimens and things like that now they've got team nutritionists and all that other stuff.
TB12.
Right, exactly. So I think naturally, as professional athletes start to work out more, take care of their bodies more, all that, kicking's no different, right? Oh, I can work out, my legs getting stronger, and practice habits have evolved to work on different types of kicks and things like that. So I just think that it's some of the natural progression of the game. Burner actually brings up a good idea though about the rugby thing. He said a rugby ball. But
Right.
in rugby, not only do they have to
You gotta
drop
post
kick it,
that.
right? That they have to drop it and it has to bounce and then they kick it, but they have to kick at the angle from like parallel to where they scored. So,
Right.
like, if you score over in the corner, you have to kick the extra point
Yes.
from on the sideline, basically. So that would make it a lot harder if you had to kick from like wherever the guy was down on the last play, right? Ignore the hash marks, widen the hash marks a little bit, Yeah.
Yeah. Shellback just nailed it.
Yeah.
Put their wife out there and let them criticize
Or they're like,
them
or
while
they're like,
trying to kick. That's funny.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, Scarps.
I just throwing this out there because kickers are just really, really good now. But like the extra point now is 33 yards,
Yeah.
and it's only worth 1 point.
Right.
So my suggestion would be all field goals are worth 1 point,
Ooh.
and that would
just
put
narrow the uprights.
narrow the uprights. But but if the NFL is looking for entertainment,
Yep.
and you're only getting 1 point on a 60-yard field goal, you might be going for it or
Yeah.
taking more risks.
No doubt
and
about it.
And as we all look, like the NFL, ESPN bought the NFL Network and all this bullshit and all this stuff this week, and the NFL owns a 10% stake in that, so they're going to be making money no matter what.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to be looking for entertainment and all that stuff. But why? Like you're literally, I mean, the old extra points were pretty much chip shots. They were 19 yard, you're right?
Yep.
Yes, 19-yard field goals.
Yep.
Now they're 33. That 15 yards, you know what I mean? So Anyway, you make them 1 point, teams would be less inclined to, and then, the kickoff rules don't really matter so much to me. But yeah, if you make every field goal 1 point, I guarantee you people would
It'd
think
be
differently
different,
about
wouldn't
the position.
Ben, you said you'd narrow the uprights a little bit.
Yeah, if you just narrowed the uprights just to increase the difficulty, you'd have a lot more missed kicks. You
Oh,
just
no
would,
doubt. No doubt.
You know,
I'd put a bar across the top.
across
Oh,
the
that's
top.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because now
That's
obviously
fair.
that's not going to do much for the real long ones. But on some of those shorter ones, now you got to actually control the
That's what
height
she
of
said.
the kick. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. I thought it was interesting. Ben, Steelers play Saturday night in Jacksonville. Mike Tomlin has already told us that there will be a slew of Steelers that will not be participating.
Only like 20.
Yeah, right. Would you have played Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. I would have
Okay.
played Aaron Rodgers for at least a series, maybe two, depending on how long the first series went.
And your reasoning would be?
He's joined the team late. Like he wasn't there for the entire offseason. He wasn't there for OTAs and the installation of the offense. He's catching up. So I'd have him out there with the guys. Even if he played poorly, it'd be good. It'd be time well spent for him. Just getting on the same page with the guys.
Yeah. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, I said last week I would play him for one series. Just to get him out there, get the guys used to his snap count, the way he calls plays when you actually have a play clock. Like
What if the first series was a 3 and out? Would you put him back in afterward?
Yes,
No.
I would.
I would.
Seeing what happened to Anthony Richardson tonight, I would not risk it. But
No,
granted,
Anthony Richardson is an idiot. He was that blitzing linebacker was his. That was his responsibility.
Yes,
He was supposed to
that's
get rid of
correct,
the fucking ball.
My
The media
saw that coming.
That
media
was
made him.
that was on him, dude. 100%. That was on him.
Could not agree more.
I agree. I'm just saying that Rodgers
Right.
is old and isn't the most mobile guy anymore. That the longer he's out there, the more you expose him to blitzes and that kind of risk. That one series is fine for me. He's not playing at all, so it doesn't matter.
Okay,
But for me,
right?
one series
No,
is
he's not. He's not playing.
Richardson had a tight end and a running back he could have thrown the ball to.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get rid of it, dude?
I mean,
And the fact that he got injured, that like compounds the situation.
because he can't read a defense is the problem.
well,
Not at all, man. And like you could see the protection sliding to his left. That guy is your guy. You got to read that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fuck.
Got to find the hot, buddy. Got to find the hot.
Go
Scar.
ahead. No, I was just saying Schefter it's not Steelers related, but Schefter just posted like some kid for the Colts 3rd round pick suffered a season-ending ACL. And it's just like, how many fucking is it just me or so many people getting hurt?
Didn't the kid from the Ravens also go off with a
the dude for the Ravens' leg was pointed towards I
Jeez,
can't think of a
man.
Maryland city right now. I apologize.
Annapolis?
Pointed towards
Hagerstown,
I was thinking
Pittsburgh.
it's some
Pittsburgh, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's my son and I were talking about that earlier today. That it just seems like, and we probably say the same thing every year. There's always a
Every
lot of
year.
injuries, but it does seem
every year.
extreme this preseason. But
I
don't
the
know.
injury du jour seems to be ruptured Achilles tendon,
Yeah,
be it the NBA or the NFL. I don't understand that at all. And who was it? Rashawn Slater, who just signed that
Patellar.
massive contract
Yeah.
and then he ruptured his patellar tendon.
yeah, awful,
Yeah.
awful.
And this is
Man.
a dude who squats 800 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fans that they cheer when guys on other teams get hurt, and I'm the complete opposite, man. These dudes, this is their dream. They put so much time and effort and money into this, and that's just awful.
Don't get me wrong. If somebody gets hit and it hurts, that's
Well,
great.
yeah,
That's fine.
I mean,
but
of course,
an
yeah.
injury, no, man. You don't root for injuries.
yeah, it's just shitty.
Somebody gets stung and he gets up and he's like, "Whoa, wow, Okay, that's
now,
fine.
Speaking of injuries, future Steelers Hall of Famer Will Howard out for a few weeks now with a broken pinky. And I did some very elaborate scientific work to try to figure out exactly how that must have happened. And then I realized it was the center QB exchange, not on the handoff, which it happens. It does. Sometimes a center will snap the ball
He
just
didn't have
a
his
tad
hand all the way
sooner.
out.
If you don't have that
This-
hand fully out, you're in trouble, man. Those guys snap the ball so freaking quick and hard, and yes, that's what she said, that it will literally snap the finger. And I guarantee you that's what happened here. And
Hey,
I know
all I'm saying is people keep comparing this guy to Ben. Ben would have played through a broken finger. In fact, he did.
Yeah.
He did. We won a Super Bowl that year.
Shit.
I will
Okay.
say,
So no.
Yeah.
You hear that, Aaron? No. Wrong.
So Aaron will be stuck playing with Will Howard on his new Madden game and living the dream of winning a Super Bowl with Will Howard at quarterback.
I will say the unfortunate thing is,
yes, let's get into the football side of it.
we've talked about this earlier this year, and I think, Mark, you were the only one of us who said you thought you would give Will Howard live snaps in an actual regular season game if we were bad enough. The rest of us said no.
Right.
This was most likely the only live snaps Will Howard was going to see this year in the preseason.
Yep.
And for a guy to have to go a full year without playing live snaps and yes, preseason defense is vanilla and they go 3/4 speed and all that, but still, like, for him to have to go a whole year without seeing live snaps, you're really not going to be able to evaluate him and know what you have there. Even if what you have there, like, best case scenario of what you have there is probably career backup. Like, if Will Howard could turn into Bruce Gradkowski or Charlie Batch, like, that's a win for a 6th-round pick, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
But you don't know that unless, like, you actually see him out there playing and getting some time, right? So it's unfortunate not only for the kid that he got injured, but it's unfortunate from a football evaluation standpoint because preseason was probably the only live action he was going to see out. Practice doesn't count, training camp doesn't count. Like, the only live game action against a different team he was going to see this season. So
no doubt.
I think it sucks from a football standpoint for that reason.
And they did. We kind of surmised that they would be bringing somebody in because you have to have that extra arm just for reps during practice. But you also need somebody to go in and hand the ball off in the fourth quarter of these preseason games because you don't want Mason Rudolph getting hurt because that leaves you with Skylar Thompson. And no offense, Skylar Thompson, but hey. He's gonna see a ton of action.
You know what though? If Will Howard was still healthy, fans definitely were rooting for Mason Rudolph to get hurt. Let's not be like.
Oh, I'm not arguing that with you at all.
Good.
Well, not all of us. Just people who wanted you to.
No, I'm sure they're
just jerk offs.
Yeah, So I
real quick about Will Howard. And I have nothing. Again, this goes back to my point. It's not about the team or players. It's about the fans. I have nothing against Will Howard. Great dude. Did everything he's asked.
Yes. Yep.
Went
Unfortunate.
Went on Ben's podcast. Extra.
Yeah. Unlike Mason. By the way, did you hear how Mason absolutely ranted and raved about how great Aaron Rodgers has been so far? Well, Mason. If only Mason had a future Hall of Fame quarterback to fucking guide him in his early years. It's not like we had one of those guys. So getting back to Will Howard, this was his shot this preseason. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. It was it, and it sucks. It's unfortunate, but this was his chance. And, depending on what happens next year, if Rodgers comes back, Mason comes back, maybe both of them come back, and they draft a guy in the first round,
right?
Will Howard might be the odd man out. So
for sure.
It sucks for him, but at the end of the day, he was already fighting an uphill battle. And this is just another
Yeah, and
challenge for
so
him.
they did bring in Logan Woodside. He's a former Toledo, another MAC kid. Really nice college career. I think he's played or started 11 NFL games in his time.
He was with the Rams for a little bit, right? I think.
God, I think so. I think
so.
that's right, Ian. But the one that intrigued me today was the signing of Andres Pete.
Yes.
The 31-year-old former Saint. He was a Stanford kid drafted by the Saints and was a longtime starter there for them. I believe at left guard, and he's got a little bit of tackle experience. I think Nick Faribault today said he's got like 500 or 600 snaps at left tackle. But Ben, where do you see?
Sorry, Woodside did not play for the Saints. I was thinking of John Wolford. Too many guys with W.
Wolfwood. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Too many mid backup quarterbacks with W names for me to remember. Right.
The battle of mid.
Yeah.
What's the question, Mark?
The question
was with the Titans.
Yeah. What do you take from the signing of Andres Pete? Is this like, hey, we need to have somebody in case Broderick really shits the bed, or is is this somebody to push Mason McCormick?
No. It's not anybody to push anything. Okay. Like they needed. It's a young offensive line, so they needed a vet presence there for perspective more than anything else. Just like a little stability, like somebody to say, hey, settle down, whatever else. The guy's, he's not been a regular starter over his career, but he's played a lot. He's played like 6,000 snaps, apparently 1,500 of which came at tackle. I question how many of those snaps were on teams because he's played a lot of teams. He's played 500 snaps on teams. Okay. On top of the 66,000 he played regular offensive snaps. But he's played 1,500 snaps at tackle, apparently. Mainly, though, he's played at left guard over the course of his career. This is a guy who's been around, seen a lot, done a lot. They needed that kind of a presence in terms of just experience along the line. The only guy they really have other than that is Seumalo. And this is his last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pete's a one-year guy, too, so I guess I shouldn't have qualified it that way. But what do I make of it? They needed to sign a veteran. They didn't really have any choice.
You guys in the chat are off the hook.
I know.
That's enough about BJ's in the chat, damn it.
Unless it's BJ Finney. And in that case, I'm all in.
BJ Finney
is it entirely possible? Maybe not at all, but Seumalo has had a little bit of a bumpy start to the season with some nagging injuries. Is it possible Pete could replace him if he's hurt?
I mean, but if somebody needs to,
right? Oh yeah.
I look at this move, and you're right, Ben. He's played more guard, but like he's position flexible. He seems to be healthy.
Looked good today.
Yeah, because even last year he only started one game, but he played in 15 games for the Raiders. So like, he didn't play a lot of snaps last year. He only played 57 snaps last year. So
the thing that bothers me about the Raiders experience is that offensive line was terrible and he couldn't start on it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
It is.
They were
also
awful.
I also think too, like depending on the coach or GM or whoever. But yeah, that's the other thing about the Steelers. Like they have such continuity. It's like you kind of understand like what they're doing, But for the Raiders, like Antonio Pierce was the coach. I can't remember who the GM was. I don't even know if it's the same one.
They both got fired. Tom Telesco.
Telesco.
But what I would say is that whether you hate Sean Payton or don't or whatever, he was in New Orleans from 2015 to 2023. So obviously Sean Payton believed him to a certain extent. And as we all know, the only difference between Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton is that there's non-losing seasons involved.
Whatever.
So, okay, fine. Yeah, you're going to say whatever. But my point is,
another Super Bowl appearance.
Okay, fair enough.
Tomlin's been to 2. Peyton's only been to
Right.
Yeah, but Peyton would have been to 2 if the fucking refs didn't call that bullshit fucking phantom. They actually didn't call anyway.
Pass interference.
Yeah. The point is
that was awful.
Getting back to Will Howard starting games. If Will Howard is starting games, something went wrong.
Yes.
For sure.
If Andres Pete is starting games, shit has hit the fan. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's true. You're right. Yeah. Like if Andres Pete has to start games, we've got some issues.
Yeah. Or injuries.
Mm-hmm. Or injuries. Well, yeah. I mean, injuries are issues for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have said the same thing about Mason McCormick last year, right? That like we were expecting James Daniels to be the starting right guard, and then 2 games into the season, he gets hurt and is out for the season. So it's one of those things where I do think not only you guys all brought up good points about how it's a veteran presence on a young line, but it's also an insurance policy, right? That it's an insurance policy for not only Sayamalu but also for Broderick Jones. That if I hate to say this, if Broderick Jones pulls a Mike Adams and through 4 games is a turnstile and absolutely sucks, like Mike Adams, they gave him 4 games and they realized like this dude cannot block. Like Jared Allen ate that dude's lunch in London. It was like, I'm surprised
that was embarrassing.
Mike Adams come back on the plate. Now Jared Allen's a Hall of Famer, but still, that was bad. It was really bad. But also, there's things you can do from a scheme standpoint to help that. And Arthur Smith loves his tight ends and loves his multiple tight end formation. So maybe they have to give Broderick a little help in certain situations, which they didn't do too much for Dan Moore last year. Mm-hmm. But considering who else is in the division, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, like guys who are pretty good pass rushers, maybe you want to like let your tight ends help your tackles a little bit on occasion. Arthur Smith.
Yeah. To echo Tom's comment there in the chat, please hit your thumbs up buttons and subscribe to the show. We're
subscribe and share.
Closing in on 500 subscribers, which is fantastic for our little train that could. So please do that. We would really appreciate it. Yeah. Scarps, I don't know what you're laughing at. You've probably been reading that book a lot lately, huh? Little train.
Yeah, I actually have. Yeah. I may or may not put like a horrible spin that's not appropriate.
Oh, you do that with kids' books too? I thought I was the only one. Boy, let me tell you, that very hungry caterpillar, I had some things to say about that.
Yeah. Why is it only fruit? What's up with that?
Yes. Yeah, this very hungry caterpillar eats ass. I've had some drinks.
I was going to mention the everyone poops book, but that wins right there. I don't need to go there. Juan Thornhill had some interesting comments about just how good he thinks this defense could be.
All right, I'm done. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm going to base my remarks about his remarks on where he came from. He came from fucking Cleveland. Okay. So he's amazed by the talent on this defensive unit and says it could be the greatest defense ever. Okay. Dude, I'm just going to base it upon your perspective here.
Yes.
Not the best defense ever. It's going to be good, I think. Best ever? I don't know, man. This is a defense that got ripped for 300 yards in game 1 of the playoffs. Until you erase that,
Well, he's not the only one, though. Now, he may be one of the only players that's kind of made those comments, but it sure seems like a lot of the fans are drinking the serious Kool-Aid here.
It's the preseason. It's camp.
Know that, and
every year the Kool-Aid is nice and cold and tasty, and everyone loves it and drinks the shit out of it. And then, come October, they're like, well, fuck, man, these fucking coaches aren't coaching this team up as well as they could because they were really good in the preseason. Well, listen, preseason doesn't mean shit.
No, it does not. That's largely what I was.
Remember when Kenny Pickett had like a perfect quarterback?
Oh yeah, the most glorious preseason ever.
158.3.
Yeah, when he did the fucking Conor McGregor strut at Heinz Field, like
one of the greatest preseasons
absolutely
in
nothing
history.
after.
Yeah, remember when the Detroit Lions were undefeated in the preseason and then went 0-16?
Yeah,
that
I think the Browns did that too.
Yes, I believe
preseason doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Ravens won like 21 straight preseason games without winning a playoff game.
Yeah.
Is that worse than Tom?
Right.
I mean, it's just a question of leaving your starters in longer than the other team.
By the way, I don't know if you guys did this, but when my brother and I were kids, and my mother forced us to drink Kool-Aid because Pop was awful for us, because Kool-Aid was so much better,
right? Yeah.
Remember how much sugar your mom used to put in that?
Oh my God! No, you need more, Mom. We would get in fights, fist fights, wrestling matches about what flavor. So what we would ultimately do is we would take the packets and we would flip them into the living room, and whichever ones were face up, they would make it to the next round. The other ones would get pulled back until we had one left. We had very little to do in our world. But that's just what we did.
I get it.
In any case.
Then your mom was like, get out. Outside now. Go.
It's summer. Get outside.
Grape was the worst, and everything else. Yeah. Everything else was better.
It was all predicated on the sugar. Let's be honest. Even grape could be okay if you had enough sugar.
Or booze, but
Well, in Berner's case, he just throws in the tequila.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers today had some interesting comments. I think it was today about Roman Wilson, and people took it differently, shall I say? I didn't think what Rodgers said was that bad.
I didn't think it was bad at all. I mean, what the fuck?
No, but see, here's the problem.
I need to get Roman out of his own head.
Yeah,
who cares what I think?
That's exactly what he said. He said Roman is trying very, very hard to please me and do what I need him to do. He just needs to get out of his own head and just play. And people were automatically, oh look, he's tearing down his receivers already. And believe me, we will be the first ones to say when he starts doing that.
Yep.
But he wasn't. He was complimenting the kid for working his ass off, but at the same time saying, dude, just go play. Stop thinking.
Yeah.
So can I tell a little story here?
Oh, please do.
If I may. So everyone knows I have a lot of kids, right? So my Malcolm, was in first grade last year going into second grade, is like a little mini me. He loves sports, loves all this stuff, right? So he was doing this little dribblers basketball thing last year, and like because he had older brothers that were playing basketball and was watching basketball with me all the time, he's at this little dribblers thing and he's like yelling at the other kids to like set a screen for him and then like roll to the basket, right? And the other first graders have like no idea what he's talking about, right? So the coach for that was also the coach for one of my other kids, like little middle school basketball teams. So but all right, hear me out, right?
Yeah.
So the coach is talking to me. All right. So the coach is talking to me. He's like, listen, he's like, Malcolm is probably like the most athletically gifted of all of your kids, but he's a perfectionist. He wants to do everything perfectly, and he wants like reassurance from the coaches that he did things the right way. He's like, and he's in first grade, so like that's fine, but sports aren't perfect. Sometimes you just have to go play and like shit happens and you have to deal with it, right? So when I saw the Roman Wilson stuff, like I thought the same thing, that like he's a perfection. I'm ignoring the chat right now because
because it's hilarious.
It is. I know. I will. I see what it says and I'm trying not to laugh.
I'm fucking dying, man.
But,
sorry, Ian.
But at any rate, right? Like
Totally
same idea here, right? Like Roman Wilson when I saw that, I was like, oh, Roman Wilson's a perfectionist, and he wants to know if he's doing things exactly the way his quarterback wants him to, right? Because and there was something else I saw. I don't remember when it probably earlier this week that, like, you know, when you're a wide receiver in high school or even in college, right? Like, you go out, you run routes the way your coaches tell you to, right? You go out and you're like, okay, the coaches tell me to run the route this way, so this is what I'm going to do. But when you get to the NFL, if you run a route the way your coach tells you to, and the quarterback throws the ball somewhere else because they think you're going to do something different, then the quarterback's getting in your face and on your shit of like, no, I want you to run the route this way. So, like, I understand where the point about Roman Wilson here, right? I understand, okay, he wants to do things the right way. He's probably a bit of a perfectionist, but he also wants to make sure he's on the same page with his quarterback and be like, did I do this thing the way you want me to do it?
Right.
So
the same conversation with my son today about that.
So yep. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think Aaron's comments are right that he's like, on one hand, I'm glad he wants my input of how I want these routes run, but also shit happens in sports. You can't be perfect all the time. Sometimes you just have to go out there and play. So, and some of it too, like Roman Wilson missed all of last year. And we hear so much about like how in the second year, the game slows down for people, right?
Yes.
That it's like you get more reps and it slows down, that Wilson's probably still seeing things so fast. And Aaron's like, you just need to slow things down and relax and get out there and play and just go ball. Right. So we'll see how it all works out. If Wilson even gets a lot of playing time this year, I don't know. If he does and is good, then that's a good thing for us.
Well, and I think there's a decent chance that once he gets out in the preseason, now I'm not saying this is going to work, but what you just said might happen.
Mm-hmm.
He might be like, okay, I'm way too caught up with this. I'm overthinking it. I just need to play.
Yeah.
You know?
And I hope he plays a lot on Saturday.
Yeah, I do too.
And in every game, because he needs the time out there. Truly.
He does. And you know, because
I mean, the thing, yes, it's good that he wants to be on the same page with his quarterback, but yeah, you're right. He's overthinking it. On the flip side of it, the relationship between a quarterback and a wide receiver is a dance. Like, where your partner is going to be all the time. And like Hines Ward talked about that all the time too, where he's like, depending upon the read, I ran a route at a specific pace, depending upon what was there and where I needed to be in the play when the quarterback's foot hit. His last foot hit, it was a 5-step drop, 7-step drop, whatever, right?
Right.
So he knew where he needed to be, and he said he could run every route at 3 different speeds, which I was like, oh, okay, I never thought that through that well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also a guy who played for a very long time and knew what he needed to do, and was also the consummate overachiever that he was.
For sure.
And I'm not saying that Roman's there yet, but I think I'm just trying to echo Ian's point, and I'm running at the mouth, about the fact that being on the same page with your quarterback is really important. And
I agree.
The desire to do so is super important. That's all. And you can take it too far, and he probably is, but I appreciate. I'd rather that than the George Pickens approach, which is, whatever, fuck it, man. I'm open.
Yeah.
Throw me the fucking ball.
Right. Just throw it. Yeah.
I would. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Scarps.
No, I would also just say that, for Roman Wilson, I really don't have high expectations for him, but like also, he's going from like 2 potential quarterbacks last year in Justin Fields, who isn't very good, and then Russell Wilson, who's just fucking Mr. Positive all the time. And then he goes to a quarterback that's very tactical, analytical, who's won it all.
Yep.
Even though Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, but Aaron Rodgers is wired a little bit different. So like, I took it as a compliment to him that that Roman Wilson has the talent. He just needs to get out of his own head. So for all the points that we made, I think it all blends together. But the bottom line is that fucking account, these accounts on Twitter are fucking terrible. They are there specifically just to fucking rage bait and just be total assholes. And I would love to know how much money they make a month, because like if that $400 a month for being an asshole is $5,000 a year worth it for being an asshole online? I mean, to me, it's not. Anyway, bottom line is, regardless whether I have high expectations or not of Roman Wilson, and I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan, but to hear Aaron Rodgers say that means something when I hear it, because I'm like, okay, you know, I got an accomplished quarterback, I got a young wide receiver who could trust in himself but isn't right now. I look at that as a positive, and I don't know why people took that as a negative.
Well, it also tells me that at least in that comment, Rodgers is pretty invested in these guys. I mean, you know, Wilson, for all intents and purposes, is a rookie. You know, granted, second year, but he's really a rookie. And I mean, Wilson could be, or Rodgers could be like, "Fuck this guy," you know. I'm going to worry about the other guys, and you know, so I appreciate that part of him. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of issues with Rodgers in a lot of different ways, like anybody, but I appreciate so far what he's been saying, what he's been doing. As Ben has pointed out, it's the preseason. It's August. There's a long way to go. There's adversity coming.
Yeah,
and,
but you know what, man? That
Kool-Aid
is so refreshing.
With tequila.
Best. No. I'm just a Kool-Aid by itself, with lots of sugar and icy cold. It is so tasty.
Icy cold.
Of course, the more you drink, the more disappointed you are later in the season. So, hey, you guys do you, but I ain't fucking doing it. Sorry.
So yeah, coming up this week, we do have the Jags. We will be in what I can only imagine will be a hot, humid Jacksonville, 7:00 Saturday night. I'll tell you one guy I'm really kind of excited to watch, and I wouldn't normally have thought this, but Yaya Black. I am hearing
Y.A. Black, excuse me.
Y.A. Black. I am hearing so many good things about this kid. He's batting down passes like crazy at the line of scrimmage. He's been a problem against the run. And, you know, when we drafted him, it was kind of like, all right, he's just going to kind of stand there in the middle and take up space. So I'm kind of excited to see what he can do.
I don't think that he's going to be a good pass rushing player.
No.
But I also don't think that he's going to be a guy who's going to leave a gap open on either side of him.
Right.
You know,
yeah. Right.
Similar to what Casey used to do. It'd be like, okay, neither one of the A gaps are open. Casey Hampton's there. You need to run around that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I'm curious to see what he can do in a game situation. And by the way, newsflash, Aaron is excited to see an Ohio State player this weekend. That's very surprising. I didn't see that coming at all.
Ekbuka?
Well, no.
Playing for the Buccaneers?
Jack Sawyer.
Who's
Jack
that?
Sawyer. Yeah. Plays for the Steelers, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not going to play this year. He just, you know.
Well, I don't know,
kidding,
Mr. Highsmith with this seemingly chronic groin problem.
I am just kidding, Aaron. He's going to play this year.
I'm a little concerned about Highsmith. Not a lot, but I am a little concerned.
I think he's probably going to miss some time again.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is
and now's the time to miss, but
it's disappointing, you know, but it is what it is. I mean,
Right. You know, the first depth chart did come out this week, and as we've said on this program for a long time, it really doesn't mean crap, because Mike Tomlin, I think, has to put one out.
Yeah.
And
he half-ass fills it out. He's like, whatever.
Yeah. Burner coming after Highsmith's dad. Yikes.
Oh shit!
Highsmith's dad is okay.
He's fine. He's active.
He's just supporting his kid.
He does. He does.
You
I
would
met him.
too.
He's a nice guy.
The other thing about the early depth chart is Tomlin's always said that it takes a lot for him to put a rookie above an established guy,
Right.
even if
Damn
that
right.
rookie's eventually gonna surpass him. But
he put
it's-
Caleb Johnson behind Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
right, exactly.
Listen, I used to do that and I've said this on the show. I used to fucking do the thing. And I would do it. And I would do it based on what I saw in practice. And I would go to Mike, and most of the time he'd be like, okay. But there were times where he'd be like, where I knew a rookie was fucking taking first team reps,
Yeah.
and I'd put him as a starter, and be like, nah. He'd be like, switch this one. So like, but then there'd be times where he'd be like, very rarely did he make a switch. But if he switched it, I'd understand why he did.
Yeah.
That was a
I
rookie.
was surprised he threw Harmon in there as a starter. I was.
That was fast. I mean, that
Yeah.
was in
But when
OTAs.
Captain Cam isn't practicing, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Ian, what are you and again, I know it's preseason, but what is something you're looking to really see happen on Saturday night? Besides no injuries, which
Other
is
than no
standard.
injuries, which is a
Yeah.
given, right? Yeah. I'd like to see some separation between guys on some of the, I'll say, muddled positions.
Yeah.
That we talked about this last week, that like the backup defensive line, there's like 6 guys for 3 spots, but I couldn't tell you, who's better or worse. Kind of same with inside linebacker. I couldn't tell you who's better or worse. There's like 5 guys for maybe 2 or 3 spots there. Backup offensive line, I think, is a huge question mark. And we've got some guys with injuries and whatnot. And that's maybe the other thing with the Pete signing too, is Calvin Anderson was injured as well.
Yes.
He was kind of the swing guard tackle guy, and Pete's got some of that availability too. So there's that. But I think just seeing some guys kind of separate themselves, right? And once you get into really, first preseason game, after the first quarter, it's all backups, guys fighting for roster positions, all that. So I really want to see like guys in that situation dominate, be like, no, I'm better than these backup guys, or I'm better than these guys who are, going to be cut after camp, right?
Mhm.
And start to show some things to really say, okay, I'm better than these guys, so I deserve consideration for a roster spot.
Scarps, what are you looking for Saturday?
I don't know. Nobody's playing that I care about. I don't know. Is Chris Boswell going to kick in this game?
No, he is
No, he's
not.
not. Ben Sauls,
Ben
Pitt
Sauls,
legend.
the pit kicker.
Fucking better call Sauls.
Better call Saul. Oh man, if that guy goes on to be great, that's good. That shirt's going to be everywhere.
He actually was pretty good at Pitt. He made some long.
He was
kicks.
good at Pitt.
He,
And
he kicked very well at Acrisure.
And if you have familiarity with Heinz Field and Chris Boswell's being a dickhead about contract extensions, I'm just saying. No, I honestly, besides injuries, I don't care. I don't care. Oh, Johnny!
Fuck you, Johnny! Fuck you!
Johnny!
Asshole!
It's been years.
It's been a long time, Johnny Stormtrooper. And yes, we will do the Fantasy Football League once again this year. Who the hell won it last year? I don't even know.
And once
Dude,
again,
we were
Ben will
supposed to
talk
send,
shit
like,
about
a
how
gift,
dumb
like-
it is.
No,
We were
and
supposed
I'm
to
in charge
send
of the
something to
fucking
the winner
stipulation
last year.
criteria this year.
What do you
because
mean?
Last year I got fucked. Last year I got fucked.
Why?
In winter because they fucking made the final. They made the final week 2 weeks, and nobody fucking plays on week 17 in this league. I got fucked.
Okay, well, whoever's running it, we got to talk to that guy.
Yeah, Ian.
who was
what the
that?
fuck?
Oh, I don't know.
Or, I'm
I
sorry, it wasn't
selected-
Ian. It was a different guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
selected
the
ESPN
thing-
default.
The thing
and
here
about
we
that
go.
is that makes your draft even more imperative because you got to get some guys that actually will play in week 18.
No, you don't. You can get him in free agency. Here's
The
the guy who's
problem
no
is,
idea how fantasy
here's a
football works.
guy. Here's a guy that fucking used all his FAB before he could fucking before he could free agency bucks.
FAB.
Free agency bucks before the fucking because I was playing whatever. Bottom line, no more fucking week 18.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
No, I that like increases the difficulty level. You guys are being bitches.
You don't
just
even
saying.
play.
You're right, I don't, because I think it's dumb. But you guys are whining about how hard it is.
All right,
Whiners.
I haven't said anything about that.
You did. You agree with Scarps. You're a whiner too.
I'll tell you right now what I want to see is I want to see this offensive line aggressive. That's what I want to see.
I just want to see them play cohesively.
Yeah, I'll take that too. But I want to see an offensive line that actually comes out and looks like they can dominate a game.
They played like a fucking unfolding lawn chair a lot of last season. It was terrible. Like, just play as a unit. If you fuck up, okay. But as long as you're decisive and you play as a unit, I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Play together.
Play as a unit.
The unit.
The big unit. Yeah.
And his name was his name was Randy Johnson.
Hey,
Right?
Ian, did you notice that Aaron can spell segue correctly?
I did notice that Eric.
Fuck off.
Is that like the thing?
This is an inside joke because Mark spelled it like the thing you ride
the
around.
driver.
Yeah.
Spell check, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I've totally lost track of this. What else was I going to mention here? DBs. How good do you feel about Juan Thornhill as your starting free safety?
No.
I mean, right now he's ahead of Chuck Clark, who I kind of thought when they brought in was.
Chuck Clark's a strong safety by trade.
Well, that's also true. Much more of that type.
I think so. The more I think about it with the safeties, I think they're probably going to wind up with Clark and Elliott as the two starters, essentially. Although I don't know what they do in base because you kind of have to keep Ramsey on the field. So maybe they slide Ramsey over. But I really think what they're going to do is play a lot of cover 2 this year, where like both guys are taking half the field. So it's not necessarily like one single high free safety like you could play with Minka, that it's more of I think it's going to be a lot more cover 2.
Sounds like they've been doing a lot of quarters coverage too. Which
I think they're going to play a lot of combo coverage.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I think they're gonna mix some shit up because they can, and they're gonna try and confuse other teams. They're gonna be like, yeah, we have really good corners, and
I'm all for that.
We're gonna mix up the coverage and try to confuse you. And good luck.
Let me flip it over real quick. Wide receivers. How many did we keep last year? 5 or 6?
6.
Was it 6?
I think it was 6.
It was 6.
I'm really starting to think.
So Ian is he has turned his camera off because he's pouring a beer, I believe.
Yes, he went to get another beverage out of his kegerator. Look, when
I think
Scotty
it was 6
Miller,
and 4. It was 6 and 4 last year, which I found a little bit odd, only because they used 3 safeties quite a bit.
Well, no, I transitioned over to the wide receivers because Scotty Miller at 5'0" is having like the nicest camp of all the receivers not named DK Metcalf.
Come on, he's like 5'8".
Well, okay, fair, but
he's good.
Well, no, I just are you going to play winning football with Scotty Miller on the field all the
time?
Tom
Justin
Brady
Brown
did.
Award.
Well, one play. You know what?
No,
and maybe it was more than that. I'm not a Tampa Bay fan.
The Justin Brown Award is going to go to Rock Taylor again.
I think so too, and I like that kid, man. I hope he.
I do too. I think he could develop into something, but he struggles against press coverage.
Right.
He's not a great route runner, but he's got a lot of raw ability. So he's like one of these guys you want to. Yeah, you want to have around to develop into something else, and tell him to work his fucking ass off, and maybe he could be a good player.
Yep.
Someday.
Yep. Something I saw today. Calvin Austin is heading into his final year of his contract. Do you think he just goes, Ian, straight to free agency, or do they try to get something done with him before the season?
No, not before the season.
Okay.
You let him play out this year, and I mean, he's not going to garner anything close to big dollars in free agency. I think, maybe if they want to bring him back, if he does some good things, like
right.
You could definitely sign him to a reasonable contract. But if he goes in free agency, I mean, the the way college wide receivers are coming out now, like guys who run 4.3 are all over the place. It's ridiculous, right? We talked about kickers earlier, but how about like receivers that run 4.3 40s now? Like that used to be like, Rocket Ishmael, like, oh my gosh, this guy's so fast, right? But I mean, you can find those guys all over the place these days. And Austin, we've talked about this before, isn't a super well-developed route runner. You kind of have to scheme things up for him. So if he walks in free agency and gets some money elsewhere, good for the kid. If he stays on a relatively cheap contract, that's fine too. Like you don't throw the bank at him. But
no, I wasn't suggesting you do. I was just it is the last year of his deal.
And, I don't think they're going to do anything with him.
Yeah, I don't really either. Either of you two, Ryan, Ben, do you think they do anything with him before the season?
No,
I don't think so either. Yeah.
They typically pay one wide receiver and then draft a bunch of other guys and bring in some cheap free agents.
Yep.
They get lucky every once in a while with guys like Jericho Cotchery, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is better than we expected."
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Let him play out his contract, and then go get paid by somebody else.
Somebody in the chat mentioned that Peyton Wilson will have the green dot Saturday night, and I'm great with that. Are
you surprised?
Well, no, because I don't think they're playing Queen, so
they're not.
That doesn't surprise me that he would get it. I really get the feeling they think very, very highly of Wilson.
Well, Wilson is the starter right now. This is one of the reasons I predicted it earlier in the off season. Cole Holcomb is my guy who is the surprise cut.
Yeah, that's right. You did,
and it's only because if Wilson passes him on the depth chart, he's a much cheaper option. And it's like, well, economically, if this dude's going to play like 20 snaps a game, he's a luxury at this point. Is he worth this much money?
And I do appreciate that Holcomb is busting his ass on special teams.
I agree
to try to make it, but I to your point, that's probably where they're at. Burner, I agree with you. I still don't understand why Landon Roberts got let go, but
dude, letting Landon Roberts walk was dumb. I agree, but he was a 2-down backer. He was.
But they don't have
having that dude in coverage you were like, oh fuck, oh no.
Yeah, but they don't have I'm gonna get it. That's what she said when I say this.
A hammer.
They don't have a thumper. They don't have a thumper.
Hey, what is
Mark Robinson?
But I mean,
Mark Robinson makes a play once every 7 games. Like Jesus Christ.
No, Mark Robinson only plays like 7 snaps a season now.
He might be playing
I agree.
fullback.
He's probably their thumper, but
Holcomb might be closer to that than Robinson. But
for sure, there's that. But regardless, you have so much money and you wait out and you go like, how many snaps is this guy going to play? Holcomb is a luxury at this point. He's an insurance policy. If one of my inside linebackers goes down, this guy can step in.
Yep.
And he's trying to play teams on top of that to enhance his value. So he knows that it's a long shot for him to stick around this season.
Yeah. Totally true. Any other thoughts before we get to Mr. Casey Kasem this evening? I am not going to ask for predictions for a preseason game.
Plays like Eddie Murphy.
Why not?
Well, if you would like to.
Freddie
Ian,
Mercury, Scarpino, is that what you meant?
Eddie Mercury?
No, Freddie Mercury would be great. Eddie Mercury is less than great.
I get it now.
That's his lesser-known brother.
Yeah.
So Eddie Mercury is the singer in the tribute band.
Yeah, it's his cousin.
He's the one that pulls up in the old RV and,
Yeah.
He aids the
Wow,
defense.
Burner. Oh my
Burner
god.
has had some drinks. Wow, dude. Really?
Holy fuck.
Really?
I'm not even going to read that, Burner.
No, man.
You-
But you posted
Jesus
it on
Christ.
you posted it.
I
Really?
will do it there, but I will not repeat it.
I
even
just
though
already
Burner
said
could
it. It's
buy
fine.
a shirt from
Wow.
our store. Custom.
Whew, okay.
Okay.
We've all
fine,
had
Ian.
some drinks, apparently. The fucking
me your
chat's
prediction,
evolving just
Ian.
as bad as we do.
Oh fuck, man. Casey got to piss again. Man.
Go
go
piss
piss.
while
Better
Ian
hurry
gives
up.
us his prediction.
I'll do my prediction last.
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's fine.
Ian will be
Your
long
prediction
anyway.
for
It'll be fine.
Saturday night in
It'll take 5 minutes.
Jacksonville.
No, preseason is bullshit. Dumb shit happens.
Yes.
The Jags are going to play their starters. We're not going to. I'll go Jags 19-18.
What, you're giving
Really?
us
That
18
close?
points?
Yeah,
wow.
we'll hit some field goals, and I don't know. Maybe we'll go for 2, and I don't
It's
know.
good beer.
So what you're saying is Tomlin's going to call Sauls?
Yeah, exactly. Dumb shit happens. I don't know.
Right. Oh, no, dumb shit definitely happens. Yeah. Ben, do you have a prediction for Saturday night in
Sure.
Jacksonville?
It's a preseason game where anything can fucking happen. And
Yes.
As you pointed out, the Steelers are not playing their starters at all.
Nope.
And the Jaguars are, because they need their guys to get some time in. Blah, blah, blah. New offense, yada, yada. I'm going to go Jaguars 36. Steelers 16.
Wow. Oh my God. The fans that don't know any better will be in an uproar. Scarps, what is your prediction for Saturday?
Score wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Jags are playing their starters.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 2013 Jaguars.
Okay. 2013. All
I
right.
like Tom's prediction of multiple pitch plays.
Yes. I
Yeah.
if I were
Although-
a betting man,
None of them will be going to Cordero Patterson. Thank God.
That's true. That's true. By the way, you notice he hasn't picked up anywhere, has he?
No.
I don't think he has.
Go
Let's
figure.
see. Right.
As he put it, old, slow, fucking, how did he say?
Something
Old,
to that
slow,
effect.
Old, slow, and washed Cordero Patterson.
Mhm.
My guy was praying he didn't have to go to Latrobe.
I do appreciate the self-deprecating humor.
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely.
Was
Absolutely.
cut on his day off. I was
Yeah.
like,
He was fucking probably had a figure crossed like, please don't make me go to Latrobe again.
I will take the Jaguars as well. I will take them 26-9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Why?
26-9.
why do we make these predictions in the
Because
preseason?
they're stupid.
Yeah.
and I
They
got nothing
are.
else.
They're dumb.
They're dumb. They're dumb. And
I
we're
think the
almost
Jags are
90
gonna
minutes-
they're gonna leave their starters in for a long time because it's a new offense. They're trying to
See,
learn it. They're gonna
now
score a lot of
Shellback
points.
Shellback has a good point here. The thing is, Shellback, is this will be the Steelers radio or Steelers TV team. So they
Yeah.
might not mention it as much as it would be like if you were watching a nationally televised
NFL
game.
Network.
something like- right. So I don't think it'll be as much as you
it's
think.
KDKA.
Right. It'll be KDKA, Charlie Batch, and Pompiani, and the crew. But
I'm gonna say
so-
once.
Yeah, it'll be once or something like that. Anyway, it is just about time for Mr. Casey Kasem. I've been told he's got another banger in store for all of us.
A banger.
You said banger. That's hilarious.
That's what she said.
That's what.
And,
All right, let's see if we can do this.
no, it's not, Aaron. You have to have NFL Plus.
Are we waiting for Ian?
I don't know what the hell he's doing. He got him get another beer. He's going through that keg.
There he is. He's back.
There he is. All right. Let it rip, Mr. Kasem.
Casey's Coast to Coast, American Top 40. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the week that was August 7th, 1975. Our favorite correspondent, Brian, is back with us again this week, and he writes, Dear Casey, oh no, there goes a dildo, go a dildo. Yeah. Bad start already. Casey, history shows again and again how fans throw dildos at games again. Casey,
let it be said we are on after 10 p.m., so we're fine.
Casey, that's of course a parody of Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult off their 1977 album Spectres. God damn, that made me laugh. Blue Oyster Cult should be in the Rock Hall of Fame. I'm sticking to it.
They will.
Like the dildos stuck on the court. Anyway, normally, I relate the parodied song to the Steelers, but this week I felt it appropriate to talk about green sex toys being thrown on the court at WNBA games.
Oh my goodness.
Unless you're talking about Juan Thornhill, there will be no dildo connections to the Steelers.
Wow.
That's right, Casey. That's right, Casey. If you can't beat them, throw a green dildo on the court.
or purple.
Or whatever color you prefer. Oddly enough, the dildos made it in the hoop more than Angel Reese's layups. Casey, in case you missed it, a fan threw sex toys on the court at select WNBA games. All 45 people in attendance were horrified. And all 500 people watching around the world threw up simultaneously. What despicable acts. That's, of course, a joke that nobody watches the WNBA. But have you noticed fans only tune in when Caitlin Clark is playing or when sex toys are being thrown on the court?
Breaking news. A purple one was thrown tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Well,
That's
well,
great.
Well, Casey, I lost my bet. But hey, Sophie Cunningham, if you're watching the show,
I wish you
holler at
were.
your boy. Casey, I haven't been as excited as this. I'm sorry, Casey, I haven't been excited about someone throwing a green dildo. Hold on. Scratch that. Reverse it. That's Willy Wonka. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Hold on.
Jesus.
You get nothing, sir. You lose. Good day, sir. Scratch that. Reverse. Casey, I haven't been as excited about something green being thrown around since I watched Swamp Thing and the Incredible Hulk have a sword fight on the 9th green at Oakmont.
What?
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Oh,
Okay.
I got it. Go for it.
Casey, I haven't been as excited about something green being thrown around since I watched Swamp Thing and the Incredible Hulk have a sword fight on the 9th green at Oakmont. Ian, if you don't get it, they're throwing each
Yes,
other's dick. Okay, anyway.
I got it.
Okay, thank you.
But also the 9th green. Yeah, I get. Yeah.
pick whatever green and oak want you desire.
The 9th green is actually also the putting green. So
Okay, well, they were using their putters, Ian.
yeah.
Even Puff the Magic Dragon was like, damn, I don't have a club like that. Anyway. And it got me thinking, Casey, about the many times fans threw objects onto the field for certain Steelers players.
Oh.
Keep in mind, Casey, all of these scenarios happened. They are 1,000,000% true. I hate you all. Don't laugh. Go on mute. Who could forget December 10th, 1977, at Riverfront Stadium, when Cincinnati native Zach Bates threw a pair of women's underwear the size of a tarp at Terry Bradshaw with the name JoJo Starbuck on the tag?
Oh, shit.
Casey, of course you remember November 20th, 1988 at Cleveland Municipal Stadium when Bay Village... I hate myself. When Bay Village native Jeff Cooper threw a mop at Bubby Brister. Oh, God. I hate... all right, I need to quit. This is Atlanta Scarps. Hold on a second. I'm not gonna get through this. I hope everyone enjoys this.
Clearly you are.
Least we forget. October 8th, 19... I can't do this. Oh, shit. Least we forget. October 8th. I'm just gonna read this.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Give me a sec. Whew. Oh, man. I'm dying right now. I so hate myself. Whew. All right. Least we forget, October 8th, 1995 at Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, when Duval native DeBrickashaw Jackson threw a 5-pound bag of pot at Bam Morris. Remember September 30th, 2007 at University of Phoenix Stadium when a young man named Ben Anderson threw a piece of carpet covered in shit at Najee Davenport.
Yeah, that one's not true.
And who could forget the numerous times Stormy Daniels threw her hotel room keys at Ben Roethlisberger? Casey?
Wow.
Casey, the point is, don't be that fan. In that setting, there's no need to look for fame. Well, Ryan, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. And keep your radio tuned right where it is. Up 4 spots this week to number 35. Here's David Bowie with Fame. Oh, God, that was beautiful. I'm sorry I fucked it all up.
You know what?
I had way too much fun
the
writing that.
constant breaks of character were so fucking good tonight.
Ryan, you breaking down was like so hilarious. It was
Yeah.
funnier than the whole like.
I don't care. Listen, I write these things and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking. It's so funny. It's just so funny to me. I don't care. Oh, I'm dying.
Did I see? Was there a story about the dildo thing is tied to like a betting scandal or something?
Cryptocurrency.
Okay, that's crypto. What the
Cryptocurrency?
hell? Yes.
How?
I don't know, but I saw a story on it right before I came down here. I'm like, what in the hell? Anyway, thank you to everyone who stuck with us because that was fantastic. If you're familiar with Casey Kasem, then you know that indeed was a banger. Make sure you check out the site, steelcityblitz.com, and catch up with all of our podcasts on YouTube. Or go to Podbean. We are all over the place, all kinds of platforms if you just want to listen to the audio. But
All the places
enjoy
you
the
get your
Steelers
podcast.
Steelers and Jaguars coming up 7 p.m. Eastern this weekend. If you don't have NFL Plus and you're not in the Pittsburgh area, then you probably are going to have to wait till it's on NFL Network. I don't think it's the live game at 7 p.m. Saturday, but it could be. Not positive. In any case, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate the hell out of all of you that join us every single week. And as always, go Steelers.
Ravens suck. Hey, hit like and subscribe, please. Thank you.
That too.
Thanks for listening.
We've had some drinks.